Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Quick Tech Tips and Reviews. My name is Tony, and with this channel we bring you guys a variety of tech-related content. If this is your first time here, be sure to subscribe and hit that little bell down below so that you're alerted to when new content is being released. In today's video, we're going to take a look inside the Ring Always Home app, specifically at the motion and light settings for the Ring Floodlight cam. Alright guys, so today we're going to dive into the Ring Always Home app and take a look at the motion settings and the lighting settings for the Ring Floodlight cam. However, before we do that though, I have a couple of things I just want to bring to your attention. First thing is, next Saturday, November 10th, I will not be putting out a video. In lieu of that date, I'll try to get one out early the following week and then resume my regular Saturday schedule on November 17th. The second thing I want to mention is you might be noticing some of the scruff, which is unusual for me. Today is November 1st as of the recording of this video, and I've decided to participate in No Shave November. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with what that is, No Shave November is a month-long journey during which participants forego shaving and grooming in order to evoke conversation and raise cancer awareness. You're supposed to then take all the money that you save from grooming and stuff and donate that to a charitable cause. I'm going to do that at the end of the month. I'm going to make a personal donation, as well as take 100% of the proceeds earned during the month of November from the Amazon affiliate links and add that to my personal donation. So please hit up those Amazon affiliate links. It's really for a great cause. Now, let's dive into the Ring app. Alright guys, so we're inside the Ring Always Home app, and particularly we're looking at the Ring Floodlight cam device. On this page here, you can see that there are several options. You can turn the lights on and off manually. You can turn the motion alerts on and off manually. You can activate the 110 decibel siren if needed at any time. You can go into a live view of the camera at any time. But particularly today for this video, we're going to focus on the motion settings and the light settings. So to get started, let's click on motion settings. And on this page here, you can control the motion sensitivity of the camera. However, before we do that, we need to set our first motion zone. So let's do that by clicking on motion zones. And that brings us to a view of the camera, which is located center over my garage. Before we add our first motion zone, I want you to take a look at that street lamp in the upper right hand corner of the screen. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in this video. But for now, to set a zone where we want motion triggered, let's hit the blue Add a Motion Zone button. And you can see a box appears on the screen, and it's telling us to drag the dots around to define our zone. So let's do that quickly for you. I'm going to leave it off the sidewalk because I don't want people walking by to trigger the motion, as well as I don't want cars going by in the street to trigger the motion either. So let's just do a quick definition of a zone here. And that's pretty good for now. So let's go ahead and hit the blue save button. And we can add additional motion zones, I believe up to 3. But for now, just adding the 1 is fine. Let's go ahead and hit done in the upper right hand corner. And there we go. So now we're back to the screen here. And originally we talked about having the motion sensitivity slider. It's in the default position in the middle, and that is working well for me. However, if you're getting too many triggers or false alerts, you can slide it over to the left towards people only. If you're not getting enough triggers, you can go all the way over toward the right where it says all motion, but just be careful with that because you're going to get birds flying by, triggering it, things like that. The best thing to do is to play with this according to your own environment and see what works best for you. Now that we have a motion zone set up, I want to look at the motion schedule option. So in here, you can add rules for when to disable the motion. I have a rule currently set up that will disable motion alerts on Mondays between the hours of 8:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. Now you can play with those parameters and the days of the week, again, that best suits your situation at hand, or you don't have to create a rule at all. But I have this set up on Mondays between these hours, particularly because that's when the landscapers are here taking care of the property. And I don't need to get alerted to my phone every time that one of the landscapers walks through one of those motion zones. So you can define those parameters here, save the rule. And what'll happen is, even though the alerts won't come to the actual phone, the motion is still being sensed and recorded and saved up to the Ring cloud. So that's a good thing. It's just not notifying your device. Let's take a look at the light settings now. Let's click on the light settings icon. Here we're presented with two options. We have motion zones for lights or an actual light schedule. Both of these can be helpful, particularly at night, to control how the lights come on. For example, if you want the lights to come on when motion is sensed, you would set the motion zone. If you just want the lights to come on, let's say at a defined time, let's say 11 o'clock at night and go off at 6 a.m. in the morning, then you would set a light schedule. Let's start off by looking at the motion zones. So on this screen, you can see that Ring gives us 3 defined motion zones. You can turn them on or off simply by touching the screen. You can turn only one on. You can turn multiple or all 3. You control the size of the zones by simply using the slider. Now, a maximum setting according to Ring is about 30 feet if the device is mounted at a height of about 9 feet. This is one of those things where you're going to have to experiment and explore in your own environment to see what settings work best for you. Now, the concept here is if something or someone enters one of those zones, the lights will come on and motion will be recorded. You also have an option here at the bottom. It says timer for lights. It says after motion, keep the lights on for, and it's set to 1 minute. You have 30 seconds, 3 minutes, and a bunch of other options. You can determine that so that you can have the lights stay on for as long or as little as you want after the motion is detected. When you're all done adjusting your zones, and you hit the little save button in the upper right hand corner. Now let's take a look at the light schedule. Let's click on that. And you can see I have a light schedule already set up here, and I have my lights turning on at 11:30 p.m. at night and turning off at 6:30 a.m. in the morning. You can do that. You could set your own parameters. This way I know during those hours, those floodlights are on, illuminating the area. Now, why am I using a light schedule instead of relying on the motion to turn on the Ring Floodlight Cam's floodlights? Well, let's go into the live view and I'll explain. Remember that street lamp that I mentioned earlier in the video? Well, if you look at its location in proximity to where I have my device mounted, it's about 35 or 40 feet away. Hence, at night, it's giving off enough light so that the sensor in the floodlight cam is staying in day mode and not switching to night mode. Hence, when motion is sensed, the floodlights on the floodlight cam are not turning on. Thinking I had a defective camera, I contacted Ring support, which, by the way, they are fantastic and always willing to help. I sent them several video clips on different occasions at night. After reviewing the video clips, they have concluded that it is the light coming from the street lamp that is causing the camera not to switch from day mode into night mode. Hence, the floodlights are not turning on. Now, this is not the fault of Ring. This just happens to be my environment, and I happen to have a street lamp in close proximity to the floodlight cam. However, if you're contemplating putting a Ring floodlight cam on your property, please take into consideration any nearby lighting. So that about wraps it up for today's video, guys. A quick look at the motion and light settings for the Ring floodlight cam. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Be sure to put any comments that you have down below. Especially, I would love to hear your own experience with any of the Ring products. Please check out some of my other videos up above, as well as subscribe, like, and share. And especially this month, use those Amazon affiliate links. I'm going to take 100% of those earnings added to my own donation for cancer research as part of this month's No Shave November campaign. As always, my name is Tony with Quick Tech Solutions. Thank you for watching. See you next time.